Monday. Break it more. Ton of tattoos. Welcome to the I Love Monday show. I'm Carlo, Mr. Monday, and I'm here with Will Noonan. He's doing sign language for the government.
I'm doing that for the people watching on mute. They're like, what the fuck's happening? This guy's going crazy.
So, Will, is it William or Wilfred?
I'm glad you asked. It's Wilmington, Billington, Dildo Face the Third.
Really?
It's William, actually. And people ask me this all the time. And sometimes people ask me if it's Will with 2 L's or 1 L. And I'm like, who the fuck are you?
You have to have, there's 2 L's, right?
Yeah.
Thank God. If
Like
there was 1 L, we'd have to reconsider things.
Just like Shakespeare. No, yeah, that would be, I wouldn't even come into this fucking building for 1 L.
The Be a Man guy wouldn't let you.
No, fuck no. He'd be like, be a man, add a fucking L to your last name.
Spell your name right.
Yes.
McKlasky, how you doing tonight?
Good. I'm doing really good. I don't have many L's in my name, though.
No?
Just one.
But you got a mix.
Yeah, well, you do.
Yeah.
A little bit, you know?
Never on camera during the Mr. Monday show.
There's a whole liability thing where I'm not allowed to show I'm not allowed to be in the state where we tape this, so hypothetically I'm not here.
That's what I'm saying. People don't know that he's
Nobody can see you.
nude,
On purpose.
severely handicapped.
Yep. Tattooed from the belly button to my
It's not easy. Like, that's why
nipple
we're always
piercings.
smiling, because we're always looking at him like he's half-dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange. So what's up with all these curfews, Massachusetts, New York? What's going on, McKlasky, with all this shit?
Yeah, Klasky, tell us.
Apparently we need to be told when to go to bed, when we can meet with our families for Thanksgiving, all this other shit. Like, the amount of suggesting things is okay, but telling me what I have to do seems like a little bit much.
I even have my own family members buying into this shit. It's kind of driving me crazy.
Like, they're okay with the curfews and
No,
stuff?
they're all right. Yeah, okay. All right, let's not get together for Thanksgiving. I think the girls are trying to get out of cooking, to tell you the truth.
Oh, that's, yeah.
You know? That might be, But, like, seriously, Thanksgiving's like a good holiday. We can all be together.
It's tough, right? I was up in New Hampshire Saturday night, and it's weird to go you really feel
No masks up there, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You only go an hour, you feel like you're really someplace different now.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, holy shit, man. Like, the parking lots of businesses are full. Like, you go into places, and it's like, I don't know, a little more easygoing. There's people with masks, but there's people without them, too. It seems to be
It's
kind
not
of
really
like
required, right?
it seems to be like whatever you want. But also, up there you get the vibe like I'm not really in a big city. Like I'm in New Hampshire. I'm in the Granite State.
Right.
There's dudes selling cars on their front lawn, You don't see that in Southie. I don't get to walk around Southie and be like, maybe I'll buy that, maybe I'll buy that.
Yeah.
But up in New Hampshire I do, and that also means probably not a lot of COVID,
Right. They're spaced out up there.
Now, Revere, which I drove through on the way here, I could actually see COVID bouncing off my windshield as I was driving.
Oh, yeah.
Revere and Chelsea.
I hit the high beams, and it was like you could see
ping pong.
COVID.
You can taste it in the air at the Everett Market Basket. It's just like, it's thick.
Is that where you shop?
No, I just go there to breathe it in.
Yeah, just to
I
build
wanna
an
become
immunity. Like, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, to many things, yeah.
Strange place.
Carly, you mentioned that you think the wives just don't want to cook, right? This whole COVID thing hypothetically started in China. Is this a whole thing so that we just eat Chinese food on Thanksgiving? Because I wouldn't be opposed to that.
No, that's New Year's.
They can have
Or
another one. I'll give
Christmas.
them all the holidays.
Honestly, I don't know about Chinese food anymore.
I feel like I have COVID every single time I eat it. I love Chinese food. It tastes great, but does it never not all the symptoms, right? A little sweaty, feverish.
Yep.
Sore throat.
Diarrhea.
I get weird. My hands get tight. You ever do that? You eat Chinese food, the next day your hands are tight. You're like, what the fuck is
What
that?
about waitresses and waiters at a Chinese food restaurant?
What about them?
They're a little different. Aren't they different? Masks, it's even more difficult.
I think I understand what you're saying, because I've gone to the same Chinese food restaurant because they're amazing. They're great. I won't say their name because they don't pay us. But they've had the same waiters and waitresses for 20 years, and they don't speak any more English than
They
did
change
20
them once
years
a
ago.
week. McKlasky's just too racist to notice. he's like, whoa,
Do you ever
holy
see
shit, John.
Ever see the vans busing them to work?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen?
Oh, yeah.
They're all in
It's got a
van.
smaller van holding it with 2 sticks.
I said, have you ever seen a van busing them to work?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I
That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to ride the bus, like the New York Chinatown bus. I used to ride that thing, almost once a week.
There are a lot of rats in Chinatown. In
Well,
New York.
the Feng Hua was like the expensive one, right? So I'd go Lucky Star, and I used to cleverly call it the Unlucky Star.
I used to cleverly call it the Rucky Star.
Oh shit! But yeah, a lot of like crazy shit on there. I saw like some live animals, like poultry, ducks.
Klasky, who
chickens.
is Miss Monday this week?
Miss Monday this week is Christina from New Jersey. She graduated with a degree in broadcasting, and she's currently working as a model. And she's a contestant for the 2021 Sports Illustrated Swim Search. And
She's
when
so
I'm
pretty.
swimming,
Dirty.
that's all I'm looking for.
Dirty
right
Jers.
She's
Looks-
pretty.
Yeah,
Great
she's
blue
really nice.
eyes.
We're covering her legs, but they look like hot dogs.
there. Believe it or not, she loves
boots.
attending fancy events.
Oh, there
She
they
loves
are. Look at
I don't
those.
think so. She's a fancy girl. Look at
A
her.
couple,
I know.
Hebrew nationals right there. I wouldn't mind. Wouldn't mind.
She puts the broad in
What?
broadcast.
Hey, wouldn't mind putting my bratwurst between those two Hebrew nationals. You know what I'm saying?
You can just tell though that by her face that she's just a nice person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because
That's what
everybody's nice to
Hitler
her.
would say. He's
Yeah.
like, you can just tell by looking at her that she's nice, blonde hair.
I think she has something to do with the Be a Man magazine too. So that's how we we met her. Yes,
Yes,
Be a Man.
Be a Man just started
Be a Man
a
just-
magazine.
Yeah, he just started a great magazine. You didn't hear about that?
I didn't hear that.
No? Oh,
Man magazine?
yeah, great magazine. It's unreal, and he's got all these pretty girls on it.
It's one page. It just says, "Be a man." Use
You
the
know about the
internet."
magazine that Be a Man started?
I know about the Be a Man magazine, but
Right.
oddly enough, we heard about Christina here through Matt Robato, the owner of the Boston Man magazine.
Oh, maybe that's. Oh, maybe I read it wrong.
That's who told us about her. But
You can't read.
Miss Monday is
Exactly.
She was brought to us today financially by Vesuvius in Salem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Head down to 2 Paradise Road today for amazing sandwiches, pasta, and pizza. Or call for pickup. The delivery number is 978-594-8886. That's the pizza place. That is not Christina's number.
Let me tell you something. The pizza's unreal from Vesuvius.
Yeah, is that what we were eating?
Yeah. Do you know the big thing about the Mount Vesuvius in Italy? What happened?
No.
Have you ever heard of Pompeii?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Have you heard of Pompeii?
Yeah.
Okay, so Vesuvius erupted.
Froze
and,
people, right?
And it froze Pompeii.
Oh, that was that Mount Vesuvius.
Mount Vesuvius, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how we
I
got
have an
pizza.
Italian relative actually who died in that. He was frozen in this position.
If he was Italian, he was like this.
It was
like
my
he was
uncle.
like that far out. Not
Just-
like that's an Irish relative.
My uncle Giuseppe Nunzio.
Really?
What's a tastier slice, Vesuvius or Christina?
I like pepperoni.
Then you're going Vesuvius. I'm going right there with you.
What do we get for viral videos?
Breaking Balls continues to leave the internet ablaze. Let's take a look at some of this week's most popular viral videos. Our number 3 video is a lady getting a little too comfortable with a cow. Let's check
Always
it out.
bad.
Hey, what'd you do with the... Oh my God! I don't have a face.
Wow.
What was she thinking? Was she trying to milk his cow?
I think that she thought the
you
cow
know?
was sick, and she was trying to. They think that like helping animals like the same way you help people. Like you bring it like Oreos or something. That's not how you help a cow. You get away from a cow, and then it shits out the sickness.
I think she was a vet. I think she might have been a veterinarian. What do you think?
Maybe. Do
Yeah.
you know what's really fucking weird? I just read a book called All Creatures Great and Small. Have you ever heard of that? It's about farm
Sounds familiar.
veterinarians. One of the big parts is you got to give them sometimes. You got to give them alcohol so they can like
Piss?
So they can piss and shit. Like that's a big thing with cows. Like they just their stomachs.
Constipated.
Their stomachs.
They eat
are-
a lot of grass.
They have
I mean,
many
Yeah,
stomachs.
their
Think
stomach
about
is
it.
very simple though. It's like a tube. It's like tube from mouth to ass. Like not a lot happens in between. So like they're literally like the way you treat a cow is so funny. They're like, well, you take a broomstick and you put a potato on the end and you shove it all the way through until it comes out the other side. And then you give it like a fucking pint of brown ale, call it a night, wake up the next morning and everyone's fucking good. That was the book I just read.
was that an Irish?
That was kind of, yeah, it was kind of like an Irishman. Yeah. And then that broad right there, she had
She's a
no
veteran-
ale in her hand. That fucking cow was on the ground like,
She should have been coming at it from behind.
yeah. Cow's like, I got milk.
Yeah, because they
fever."
can't kick back, right?
I don't know. Only horizontally.
What country do you think that was?
Oh, I'm gonna say Kazakhstan, and it looked like milk fever on the cow.
I think Norway.
It looks like a stand.
a stand. I get it. Like Afghanistan, Manchester, stand.
What's next, Klusk?
The next video got a ton of views, and it features a car being rescued on a cliffside. So this is a happy one.
Oh, I like
let's
this.
Let's see a happy
My
one.
dog's arrested.
Oh, you know, I'm so glad people are out there
Whoa,
fixing
look at
a
that.
problem, man. Look, that was probably a really bad
Right by
accident.
the muffler.
Is that a
too.
piano chord?
And
What island was that?
Fiji.
Vesuvius.
maybe Haiti, because maybe it was an earthquake that knocked the car off the thing.
Yeah, we're pretending like we know
lot of
that, like it
earthquakes
was
there.
the guy who hooked the
It's a
winch
little
up to
Haitian
the
earthquake joke for everyone at home.
axle.
I love geography.
Was that what it is? He hooked the chain to like the suspension or something, right? He
To the
didn't.
muffler.
Must have still been in neutral on that.
Muffler.
The muffler.
As you can see, I have a Dale Earnhardt t-shirt on. I'm obviously the guy who answers this
I
question.
think that was like Barbados or something.
Yeah, when you're in Barbados, you leave your car in neutral when it's upside down. Everyone fucking knows that. All right? And then when they flip it back, you roll to get something to eat. Unfortunately for that dude, there was a hill there.
They like paint cars in like regular paint, not like car paint in those countries.
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
Do you ever see in Cuba? They like everything's from the past. Like they're like they make brake pads out of like their sneakers and stuff like that.
They get like sailing paint from like America sent down there, and they like paint cars and stuff.
No, they really do. It's pretty funny. They're like, if you go down there, everyone's driving like a '55 like
Yeah, right.
Ford. And they're
That's like mint.
yeah, that's mint.
It's
And they
like
like
perfect condition.
There's like one guy who's like, oh, don't work on anything, you know. Like I don't know why I made him like
It's a
that.
55 Ford, spray painted orange and tipped upside down so people don't steal it.
Exactly.
I have vehicles that are in Guatemala. Guys I used to work with, like they buy my.
Oh, they buy your old
They
truck.
buy them and they send me pictures. Hey,
Negro.
senor.
I've heard of
Your
that,
car's in
like-
Mexico.
I've heard of that, guys. Remember
I see this guy with like a big fucking crazy hair.
there was a guy who sold his truck like in Florida, and then he saw a Taliban guy like driving it in the Middle East.
Oh
you ever
my
hear about
God.
that? It said his plumbing business was like on the side of this
Oh
thing, and they were like, no. They're like, no, check out John Franklin Plumbing in Tampa. He'll take care of you.
What's the next class?
Tell them Malacha sent you.
I hate that language, by the way.
Do you know how many?
Always said nice things about you. Ugly language.
Crazy write-ins, like on.
I thought the thing you hated about the language was like that. Ha ha la ha.
No, that
la, ha.
too,
And
that
you were like,
too.
it's the crazy,
The
right?
crazy write-ins, like it looks like piano.
I kind of
shit.
like that part. It looks like Lord of the Rings. Like, remember when they look at the ring? It's like,
Yeah.
It makes
That's what
me
I was like.
uneasy.
but sometimes when I hear two
know?
guys who are Middle Eastern like kind of arguing at a gas station or something, I'm like, fuck, man, what are you guys talking? It sounds like they're like planning on kidnapping Han Solo. You know, they're like, and
They're just talking about their camel back home.
Holy shit!
Be a man.
All right.
Drop some camel
What's
references
the next
on
one?
the Middle Eastern.
Klasky, how do you feel about that?
There goes Vesuvius.
How do I feel about camels? I feel like they're pretty cool. I mean, they're not as cool as horses because they're slower. But if you're going for a desert traverse, then I would go. Yeah, go.
They make
camel.
hilarious noises.
Yeah.
They really do. They sound like people. They're like, la, la, la. That's like how camels talk. They really do.
I
I used to
listen to
smoke camels.
All right, let me jump ahead. The last video got over 100,000 views, and it features one of the most fierce flag football hits ever.
Oh, shit.
This girl must have had a vendetta against the other girl. We don't know for sure.
It's
but,
girls?
The video kind of explains itself. Let's watch it. Veronica's at the 30, the 20.
Oh my God!
Karate.
Wow, she's hitting the fucking X button there on.
Tiger uppercut.
That's me button mashing on Madden.
That's actually in Charlestown. That was under the Tobin Bridge. No,
It looked like it, right?
It was. No, the girl's shirts.
Does that surprise you one bit that like a
No.
girl from Charlestown was like, I know it's fucking flag football, all right, but
Are you sure there wasn't a guy
just
who did
like
that to
Billy
a girl?
fucking Belichick says, do your job.
I think it was a girl who like has never done anything like this. Like she's never been involved in anything physical or anything, and like she doesn't really just grab the flag and she just jumped in the air. Doesn't know how to control her own momentum.
That's how I
She
am
looked
at
like
like
a karate expert. to
pick
tell
up
you the truth.
basketball.
You think she's a karate expert?
I mean, something like that. You know?
Yeah, she could be.
She could be, yeah. Anytime you have a skill, like when you're a karate expert, it's like carrying around, I can tell you because I am one, it's like carrying around a loaded gun all the time, you know? And sometimes you just feel like
Did you ever
get
hear about
your
the-
itchy trigger finger.
Did you ever hear about the time the Be a Man guy squared off against a karate guy?
No.
Be a Man squared off against a karate guy. He picked up a Harley Davidson and threw it on him. It's another true story. Like,
you know that
you guys think this is made up? This is real.
The first
True stuff.
The first hand that I shook after I'm not. This is not a joke though. The first hand I shook after like months of not
be a
shaking
man?
anyone's hand.
Be a man
was
guy?
man guy. And the
Pretty-
second
pretty
one was
good.
you.
He threatened to throw a motorcycle at him.
It just whichever brother I ran into first, I was gonna shake their hand.
Did you guys watch the Patriots last night at all?
I did, yeah.
Did you hear how much they were talking up Belichick's son?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think they're like,
Yeah.
planning that switcheroo.
What are
Really?
they?
Think
I
he's
could
gonna be
totally
the next
see.
one?
I could totally see people in New England be like, Belichick. I love any Belichick. I just like
It's like
familiar
Kennedy
things.
now. It's the new Kennedy.
Yeah, I could totally see that working for.
Why
people
were they
here.
so impressed with him? Because he has the haircut of a caveman from 1965?
He does. He looks like he was on the Flintstones.
Yeah.
He's got like a Flintstone haircut. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
like
got that weird.
like he was kidnapped by NASCAR drivers or something.
He looks pretty focused. I gotta say, he must be doing a good
I was
job.
gonna say, I think that's his heavy brow. He's got that big eyebrow that just makes him look focused all the time.
Remember Malcolm Brown? They sat him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They said
Butler.
Malcolm
Malcolm
Butler.
Butler, yeah.
Thank you. Getting it.
Joe never
So-
speaks. He's like, you make a fucking.
So supposedly
mistake
he gave
football eye.
Belichick's kid shit,
Oh really?
saying, "Oh yeah, the coach's son." And all
That's
this
what
stuff.
happened?
That's the inside scoop.
I mean, don't we all talk about that? That cost
Yeah.
us that one. That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird. That
No
was a weird
doubt.
benching.
Are there assistant coaches that like have worked with Belichick for a long time that have probably gained experience from just being next to the guy and learning things?
Of course, I hope so.
Oh, for
I guess his
sure.
kid
I mean,
couldn't have done
what's
that.
his
right?
name?
No, right.
The coach of the Colts,
All of them.
Patricia.
Yeah,
He
that's what I'm
learned.
saying. Is like
The Lions.
that guy
Lions.
has.
Joe's corrected everyone tonight.
Fact check is working overtime.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a few minutes to shoot the shit. See you in a few.
Double dip the chip. If someone complains, smash their face into the ranch. Be a man. If you're gonna cough, don't cough on your arm. Cough in someone's face. Be a man.
You see the Be a Man double dip?
Dude, I love B-Man. It was a great honor that he came to see me when I was with some of the boys from here. We were all at Kowloon.
I heard, yeah.
McKlasky was there.
That's right.
The Be a Man doesn't
Dave,
double dip
Evan.
though. He like just picks up the whole tray
We might
and
have
walks away
a.
with
Do we
it.
have a little bit of that at the end?
That's true.
No, he does.
He does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a large man. It doesn't come across necessarily when he's alone on a screen.
Right.
Like that's, it's like when Shaq does a commercial. You can't
Right.
when he's not next to someone human sized.
It's a monster.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
monster.
It's
we
like-
usually we shoot him in like double 4KX. Like it's the only way to get all of his
Yeah.
shoulder length on the screen.
Instead of shaking your hand, he puts his palm on your face and holds it there for a second.
Hey, follow Be a Man on Instagram. It's growing. It's getting huge.
When he sends a dick pic, it's a panoramic.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
You need 3 phones to see it.
And that's flaccid. All right. What do we
I never heard flaccid with a T at the end.
stick around?
That's flaccid.
I got
Flaccid.
a leak in flaccid.
Is your dick flaccid? You're probably Viagra.
What do we got, Klaus?
The pussification of America continues. Loyola University professors gave a test this past week. One of the questions was, did the election stress you out? And there were extra points given if you said, yes, the election stressed me
Oh,
out.
so you got extra points?
Yeah.
Do we have a new president, by the way? Like, what is the story?
Well, right now,
Where we at with that?
I think the Sox the cat is the president. That's where it ends. Bill Clinton's cat. That's how far back it goes.
I think they're going to let people fight about it on Facebook for another 3 weeks, and then whoever's still left gets the win.
I think Trump's, he lost, and now his new thing's going to be like,
Court.
well, I think he's just going to start a TV show, and it's going to be the kind of TV show where, like, you send money in, and the guy's going to, he's going to make
Joel
money.
Osteen.
He
or
could be like an
whatever it is.
evangelist.
No, I really think that's what, the 700 Club? I think he's going to start that.
700 Club.
The 800.
I think he's going to do 700 Club Trump style, where he's like,
Who was
these
that guy?
libs are trying to get us, and people are like, damn right he is. Fucking here's my credit card.
Who was the
And then he
700
can do that.
Yeah.
Instead of being president where you're like, hands are tied, you can't just do that.
He's just going to have a new colored hat and sell it for $40. People are going to love
What was
it.
that guy's name for the 700 Club?
Lindsey Graham, was that him?
Was that it?
That sounds
I don't
right.
think so. I don't think so.
I used to, do you ever like get stuck on that? You're like, ah, maybe like flipping channels in your teens. You're like, maybe I'll like watch a talk show. I don't even know what this is, and you watch it for like 12 seconds. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like suddenly like nothing else on TV.
Or like you see that they have 750 people, and like as a comedian, you try to get people to come out, and you're like, these people are listening to a fucking psychopath.
When I was in Florida, I went to one of those mega churches just to like check it out, and I was like, holy shit, this is like way. You can be half as funny as a comedian and make like 3 times as much money doing the exact same thing. And the gimmick's the same. They like go out and build fan bases, and they start small, and they like build. And
You should see me do Corinthians.
I bet it's dope. I bet you do. I bet you're dope.
Oh, you want to shoot the shit, Klusk?
Yeah, all right. A revolutionary flying drone taxis. It hovers, like floats in the air about 155 feet above the Seoul River, and it shows off what it can do. It's a pilotless taxi. It's flying around, and they're going to commercialize urban air travel by 2025.
That's a fuck no in 1,000.
All by yourself with AI technology flying you around.
Yeah,
that
fuck
thing.
you.
Do that?
Fuck that. Unless it comes with like an eject button and a parachute.
That's South Korea, right? Which is the normal Korea.
Well,
right?
I mean, it's in the,
Yeah.
Is that the normal one?
Yeah.
When
Safe-
you're in
Wait a minute. What's that? Look like the gas tanks back in Boston. Look at that.
Everything is
see
Charlestown
it?
and Boston. If they tried to do that in Dorchester, that thing wouldn't get 4 feet off
Oh,
the ground.
please. Guys be whipping footballs off that.
I was gonna say, and get hit with too many fireworks to like fucking fly through the sky. Hits the Boston Bowl billboard. It's like,
You're at Logan Airport, right? You're at the bar. You're drinking. You're going shot for shot with some guy that's telling you some hilarious stories, right? It's time to get on your flight. And you're like, oh, hey, buddy, I'm flying that flight. And now you realize, oh, shit, do I want to get on the plane with this guy, or do you want to get on that thing?
And you can make deliveries with this? Like, that's the whole...
And it can fly anything that
cool
you
to go
want.
to gigs in that.
Wow.
I don't know. You know, though, if it's like a regular drone, if it breaks, it just slowly floats to the ground, right? That's what drones do.
Yeah.
That's the biggest drone in the world,
point.
maybe, isn't it?
I don't know, though. I just don't. Could you trust a car, like a self-driving car, going 80 with you sitting in it, no control?
I don't trust another driver.
But, I mean, that's like an Uber. Like,
Sure.
you're doing it with an Uber driver, and, like, you don't know him at all.
Yeah, but that's a human being, though. Like, you both will die if it crashes, right?
At least Uber's like
That's
a
fair.
billion-dollar industry now, so there's a little like...
But I agree with you that Uber is crazy. Like, I cannot
Yeah.
believe that, like, a few years ago we were like, what if we just picked each other up in our fucking cars? And, like,
Yeah.
what if a stranger I never met drove my girlfriend over?
Yeah.
And then, like, it works? And, like, we go with that?
Yeah.
I think it's the craziest thing. I used to do a bit about it. I was like, your whole life is, like, we were brought up, like, don't talk to strangers. Then, like, cell phones came out, and they were like, whatever, you die, you die. But isn't this fun?
It's just to start off romantic comedies now. It's just like, yeah, get in the car.
A lot of Uber drivers are perverts. You know this, right?
A lot of comedians
Yeah.
are Uber drivers, so that lines up.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, a lot
Makes
of them-
sense. They drive people to the comedy show.
All the weirdest dudes I know from the bowling alley drive Uber. Like all the guys
What's
that
the
you
name of
would
the bowling
never-
alley?
Boston Bowl. That's where I go all the time. And there's a lot of great people there too. I don't want to talk shit.
Right.
But it's bowling. You know, it
Correlations.
attracts
Big balls, little balls.
big balls only,
Yeah.
bro. 10-pin bowling.
You
You
gotta
know?
put the 3 fingers in
3
there.
fingers in, sides to my hand. I got
I
3
don't like
balls
the
in
big.
the trunk.
I don't
right
like
now.
the
You
big
wanna
balls.
roll? Huh?
I don't like the big. I'd rather go with the little candle.
I know you're a true New Englander.
Right.
New England people, they love candlepin, but
What are you, a Midwesterner?
I mean, I'm a whirly man. You know,
I hate bowling.
I've been to Europe.
I loathe bowling.
I tried the big ball. I played snooker. But it's, you know, just put my American cowboy.
Bowling's one of those things where, like, if it was in like the arcade of today, it would be like way in the
Touch for
back.
you,
It
guy.
wouldn't work anymore. Nobody would be
11.5.
playing it.
Packing some heat.
Thanks, some heat, bro.
What did you say, Klusk? I'm sorry.
Nothing. Want to go on to number 2?
Yes, please.
A woman teacher. This is a 30-year-old female teacher. She avoids jail for sexual relations with a boy who was 16 after blaming personal trauma for clouding her judgment. This lady's name was Madeline Schmaltz. She was charged with 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct for having a sexual relationship. I hate how they don't get into this.
Look at that kid. Oh, shit.
This week, a judge sentenced the former Hermantown
Oh,
Middle
man.
School teacher to just 3 years of supervised probation, and they won't give us the details because the kid's 16.
Wow, that's her?
Yeah.
Wow, good for this kid.
That's her after
Look
the
at those
prison wait.
crazy fucking eyes. Are you gonna call me after our
think
date? Do I get a second date with you?
I'm like wondering. When I read this, I was thinking about some stuff when I read this. So I'm like wondering if like this girl's still stuck in like her high school days and like, you know what I'm saying?
For
Like she never
sure.
got laid in high school, so now
No,
she has to bang a young.
She read his essay on Christopher Columbus and got so wet. She was like, I gotta fuck this kid. And that's how it went down.
When you tell
I mean, she looks pretty.
Columbus crossed the ocean of wet pussy.
I mean, she looks pretty and
Oh, dude.
great smile.
I remember reading somewhere that this happens more often than not with people who are into physical fitness. Like if schools now are told if a person comes in and they're super physically fit, put them at the bottom of the list of people you're gonna hire. They're more likely to. Isn't that weird? I remember seeing it on like 60
Because you're in
Minutes or
better
something.
shape and your organs are working better.
Maybe I think it's
Yeah.
or you're a little vain or sexual or something.
You're trying
like that.
to slow down aging, so you're trying to,
It's the
keep
endorphins.
that- yeah.
But it's so weird. I was just talking about this morning. I do feel like it's, you know how every now and then you hear about one of these, like Mary Kay Letourneau. She just died, right, of cancer at like 50 or something.
What kind of cancer? Throat?
I think it was like, I think it was whatever cancer. It's not cured by fucking high school kids. But she married that kid that she fucked. And he was by her. They had 3 kids, and he was
Yeah.
by her side when
At
she
the
died.
end,
And
right.
he's like 40 something now. And in that case, you look at it and you go like, well, like that worked out.
Maybe
so
they were
like,
meant to be.
once in a while,
were
it's
meant
like
to
not
be.
that bad, right?
What would you guys do when you were 16 if your teacher was like 30 to 40 and wanted to
the Lynn school system did a really good job of keeping anybody in shape or attractive.
away from you?
Yeah, no, the entire school was pretty much just, old. Yeah.
I think I totally would have been.
would you do?
I think I would have done it. I probably would have been a little freaked out, but I just would have kept it to. I definitely would have kept it to myself.
Do you think you would have premature ejaculated?
Yeah, probably.
I would have been scared shitless.
I had to really
If
think
the
about
lady
it.
made
I'm
a
like,
move.
when
I
I
was
was
16, I had a
18.
teacher coming after me. I would have shit myself.
Why? You're not going to get into trouble.
I'm just saying.
No,
You're
but
gonna-
I know what you mean. The excitement, like, it would be crazy.
You're going to have to see a
right?
concert for 3 weeks and your dad's going to high five you. You're going to be fucking fine.
What'd you do with that
There was a teacher when I went to school, and it was there was no rumor of her doing anything, but it was like, oh, you're letting that line be gray of teacher versus cool kid, and you can sense that in 10 minutes.
That
And it was-
happens.
Yeah.
That really happens. Like I had, I mean, it's kind of funny. I have a teacher, a guy who's a comic, Jim Bowes. Like he was my teacher, and now like I've
that's funny.
known him for all these years.
Did you guys have relations?
And I know, but like, no, nothing like that. But it was funny, like, when I look back on it, he was like a 28-year-old teaching 18-year-olds, and like, now we're, like, it's not that weird to
Yeah,
know him now.
as you get older, you're right.
As you
But
get
like,
older.
he's a comedian. He's probably got a personality. He's probably a funny guy, right? There's like some of these like ladies that were like, the 28th most attractive person in their high school class, and now they're all of a sudden being perceived as like this hot person in that same classroom.
That's very true.
Do you know what I mean? So now they're like, they've just jumped up. They're big fish that jumped into a little pond.
I went to an all-boys Catholic school, and like, I mean, you could be like a soft 5.
That
and-
explains
and
a
the whole
lot.
class would be like, "Ugh," every
Yeah.
time your like nipples got hard, we'd all be like, oh my god. Spanish teacher, like fucking Mademoiselle, fucking. It always be like, you ever have like language classes in Massachusetts to be like, oh my god, Senorita O'Connell is fucking hard right now. You'd be like, Mademoiselle fucking Hennessy. It was all these Irish last names with like
Where was that school?
the Catholic school, Needham, without saying the name. They can figure it out.
Yeah.
I thought Needham was
Great hockey
I thought Needham was
program.
Jewish.
It was a Catholic school. It was like
I
a
was under
private
the
school.
impression it was a city.
It is.
Oh,
A
okay.
Jewish city.
Oh, all right.
Is it Jewish?
Needham, yeah.
Oh, okay. So like nice, right? Isn't that kind of what that means? Like
Try finding a
that's
Christmas
kind of
tree.
funny, right? It's like there's
Try finding a Christmas tree in Needham.
I heard
Was
a
there any
rat.
Jewish kids in that Catholic school?
Oh, there definitely were actually.
Really?
It was.
So they were
it was-
Catholics.
yeah, it was like there were all kinds of kids. But you know what's funny? I'm terrible with rappers now and like who's what, but I still listen to it sometimes. And I heard a rap lyric, like a pop song, where the guy's like, "I hang in the Jewish community. I hang in the Jewish community." Like he's this rapper, and I was like, this is so bizarre. that like that's the new flex. Like,
I went to Catholic school in high school. I didn't do any of the Catholic shit before high school. I just needed to get out of the city, and they would do like a giant auditorium, and they would give out the Eucharist or whatever. And I didn't know what to do, so I didn't get up and do it. So for like the first 3 months, everybody they thought I was Jewish.
Jewish, yeah.
And I didn't know what that. I didn't know
like
what that
he's been
meant either.
divorced. He's gone through a couple divorces here in middle school.
What's next, Classic?
Inside the most elaborate camper van ever. A stunning motorhome dubbed the
Dope.
Commander from
Wow.
Australian firm SLRV. It boasts 10 beds, 4 TVs. It's a luxury vehicle. It's perfect for long staycations. It has a monochrome kitchen.
That's
It's
beautiful.
apocalypse proof. There's plenty of freezer space, but it is not cheap. You can get this Commander at up to $2.8 million.
Fucking A. That's
Wow,
beautiful.
that's nice.
I would
That's
get
in
rid of
Australia?
I'd get rid of 7 of those beds though, wouldn't you? Or like
Unless
maybe-
I had like a legion of chicks willing to just scissor.
Yeah,
for-
that looks like a real
scissor on
chick
the road.
magnet there.
What are 3 things that come to your mind when you hear Australia?
Oh fuck! Annoying accent. I hate their fucking
Kangaroos.
accent. Kangaroos and hot and like hot,
Olivia Newton-John.
dangerous bugs. They got a lot of like crazy bug insects.
poisonous
there.
shit down
yeah,
there?
like you can get. You gotta like check your shoes all the time for like spiders and.
Well, luckily, the fires killed half of the wildlife down there, so it might actually be a cool place now.
Yeah.
I hear Noonan's a really popular last name there. Like people, Australian people have told me that Noonan is like it's like Smith.
It
Really?
sounds like an Australian.
Are you Australian?
Could be. One time we were at my mom's Boston accent is so thick. We were in Virginia and the waitress thought we were Australian at our table.
She was a real sharp
My mom's
waitress.
like, "Come over here, sit down." You know what I mean? And she's like, "Are you Australian?" I'm like, "No, we're just filthy Boston crap."
That poor girl never left Virginia.
No, she was.
Could you put the socks game on for me?
Yeah, but it's like true. It's like put another shrimp on my fucking barbie, kid. Like it's not that fucking different, you know.
That's true. They hate it when you confuse them with British people.
Or New Zealanders. That's the
Yeah.
real one. You can really get them on.
I would love to go to Australia, just the flight, the travel. It's like 24 hours or something. I would
Yeah, I
never
would
do
want
it.
There are a lot.
Too
It's
much.
actually a lot like here. Like a lot of the craziest stuff here, they have too. Like they have a version of Trump. They have like.
They have great wine.
Do they? Australian wine.
Australian wine's great.
Well, they're a lot like Americans in that people were sent there for being out of control, and then they just made their own shit.
Right.
Well, they're criminal.
Like Americans.
Prisoner.
That's how my ancestors
What's
got
the
here.
river? Isn't there a big river in Australia? What's the name of that? Do you guys know?
You know what I remember about? Walkabout. Remember the Aborigine book, Walkabout? You had to read it in school.
Yep.
It was like you go out and you walk about and you fucking figure shit
A lot
out.
of
out
Aborigines.
there. You either live or you die, mate.
What's the next class?
Futuristic audio device puts music in your head by beaming sound directly to the listener without need for headphones. You ready for that?
No.
It's a desktop speaker thing. It creates a personal sound bubble. You're familiar with the sound cone, right, Tonzo?
Yes.
This directs ultrasonic waves that are converted into audible sound
That's cool.
next to the user's ear.
like
Lack of
that.
headphones means it's possible to
Makes it
hear
easier.
the
Saves a
sounds
step.
in the room clearly. It's so
yeah.
weird.
I'd love that the guy on the subway was using it next to me to listen to rap on his phone.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
like, I love like, oh man, I love this song through a cell phone that's fucking 8 years old.
Yeah.
It cracked.
Who's your
screen.
favorite rapper? Do you have a fave?
Like of all time?
Yeah.
Probably Notorious B.I.G. of all time, Biggie Smalls. But lately I've been enjoying Drake and DaBaby.
Is Drake actually is he considered a rapper?
Drake?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, you're right. He's a pussy, and he's kind of like
Yeah.
he is. He's like a pussy, and his
He's
rap
great.
is
Don't
like
get me wrong. He's awesome, but
his rap is like, ooh, like I want to work out, but like nothing tough. You know what I mean? Like I want to work out to this, but like not a hard workout. Like you know.
Can anybody do a Drake impersonation? He's got kind of certain cadence, doesn't
I
he?
know. I used to kind of try.
can you?
I do sometimes he sounds like he does this thing sometimes where it sounds like when like your mom would talk to you, your mom would be mean to you and you'd say stuff as you walked away, like she'd be like, go clean your room, and you'd be like, I'll go clean my fucking room, you know what I mean? Sometimes he does
That's
that.
how
He'll be like, clean your fucking room, I'ma clean my room, I'ma do it right. Like he'll do that. So I think he does that.
Summertime is over. Gotta take out AC. Like he just says 3
I'ma
sentences.
take out my AC. Take out my AC. Like,
What's the next class?
LA's homeless get inventive and they build their own elaborate shacks complete with showers, ACs, grills and tiki bars by tapping into street lights to get power,
New York almost
and
been doing
fire
this.
hydrants for running water.
do it in
Homeless
Lynn, too.
encampments on
In Lynn.
sidewalks throughout Los Angeles, they're being dubbed McMansions. It's a tent city, basically, but they have working showers and air conditioning. It's like they're tearing down the system to make it like harder.
nothing
What are you
new.
doing?
Is this all since COVID? Oh, this was happening before COVID.
Now, since COVID and since some of the revolutionary things that have happened in 2020, people feel emblazoned to just do whatever the hell they want in the street.
They used to. I've been to this part of LA, and they used to clear every night. They clear that out, and the people would clear out
With a
and
hose?
It was like seriously though. It was like you'd go there during the day. It comes Skid Row. It's in all the movies. You go there during the day. It's
Skid Row.
fucking terrible. Seriously, that's where it comes from. And you go there. It's like horrible.
Yeah.
It's like a third world
What's it
country.
smell like?
Oh, I mean, dude, piss. Like, just straight piss. California sun, piss. I mean, honest to God, my buddy took me there. He was like, check this out. You'll want to see it, like, once in your life, you know? And he's like, don't fucking even, like, I'm not even going to slow the car down.
Is that LA?
Yeah, and this was like '05. It's probably so much worse. But they'd go through, and then they'd take everything out. So if you did build something like that, it would be destroyed, and then the next day you start over. But when COVID started, they were like, we can't do that to these people. Like, it's already bad
There's
enough.
probably like certain laws where like if the person stays there for a year, they have like certain rights to that area or something. If you're
California's
set up,
crazy
right?
with the homeless people laws. Like in California, it's illegal to sleep on the beach. Like it's no cop can come by and tell you, get off the fucking beach. So you go to the beach like in Santa Monica during the day, it's all tourists, all kids like playing in the
Homeless
sand,
guy.
kicking in the sand, the fingers in the sand. And you go there at night, it's like 1,000 homeless people in the same sand, fucking pissing and like, you know, having dirty, soupy homeless guy sex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
each other or with women?
with sand in there.
All kinds of things. They use soup as
What's that
lube.
called? Is there a
good-
certain name for that?
It's
Oh yeah, soup. What is it?
No, it's like
Soup. Yeah, they.
no,
use-
but when you have sand, you dip your thing in the sand, then you put it in.
The
No.
Screaming Eagle.
Is
I
that
was
the,
just say it sounds like
Tonzo got it. It's called the Screaming Eagle.
don't they,
Right, Tonzo?
screaming eagle.
Right? Isn't that what it is?
I could be wrong.
No,
No, you're
I'll buy
right. He's
that.
right.
I think he is right.
It's called the Screaming Eagle. A guy's having sex with his girl on the beach. He just stops for maybe 10. He's taking a break, dips his wick in the friggin' sand, puts it in her
And she screams
hole,
like
and
Yep.
it's bad news.
Don't they
Wow.
do that in Bloodsport? Doesn't he dip his hands in honey and then like glass and
I mean,
stuff?
I saw that movie once.
Yeah.
One of those Van Damme movies.
I think Jorge Posada
Oh,
does that.
Screaming Seagull. It's called the
Yeah,
Screaming Seagull.
Oh, so close. The Screaming Eagle.
All right, it's a good try.
I like it's
it's
an eagle.
regional. It's
An
regional.
eagle's a little better. It's more American.
Today's 2-year anniversary with that buddy over there,
Yes, one of the audience members.
Evan
here
Luongo.
is a 2 years
2-year
member, friend of the
anniversary.
show.
Feels
He's
like
a practical man.
feel like we know him for 20 years.
What anniversary of what? Knowing him?
Yeah, he was on the show 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
That's when we cloned him.
Somebody broke into his house and he macheted their head off.
I know that. Yeah. We did that on my show, the Noonan show too. After meeting Evan, he told me his story, and then I
Isn't that
watched the
great?
clip, and I was like, "This is the funniest fucking clip."
So good.
What else we got, Klusk?
Across the country, people are doing their premature Christmas preparations. It's 2020, though, and it's going to be a little bit different. So usually Macy's is known for their amazing Christmas trees. This pathetic tree was erected outside of a Macy's in Cincinnati.
2020 tree.
I was
It's
gonna say, what the
described
fuck
as the
happened to
ultimate
that?
symbol of 2020.
Jeez.
That looks like my erection after I've masturbated and I'm trying to lie about it. You ever do that? Like you masturbate and then your girlfriend comes home, she throws one at you. You're like, fuck, I'm not gonna deny this opportunity.
And you can't.
But
work
you
it
really,
out.
you're like,
Yeah.
you have to like.
It's like a limp noodle.
Well, I mean, you can
it's
get
like
it,
a
you get it going, but you can still celebrate Christmas. It's just not a great Christmas.
I was driving here tonight. People had their Christmas ornaments up like tonight.
I was in a home
it's not
yesterday that
even
had them.
Thanksgiving yet.
And the person, I was in someone's house yesterday that had a Christmas tree up. And I was like, what the fuck?
They
And
never
were-
took it down.
They go, this year we're doing it because of COVID. It's so sad. That's what they said. I was like, okay, but
That's the thing. That's people are in their house all day. They've been in their house. They're bored of their house. They want to change up the decor a little bit. So
They clean their ornaments and then they put them up.
people
Yeah.
people
You
were
know?
doing it over the summer though too. Like, right? I heard some people put the lights up. And
I
stuff.
bet the lighting at night helps people cope with the meaninglessness
the loss
of life.
of Trump losing
Did
the
you
election.
put up a tree, Klusky?
No, I'm Jewish. I just explained that.
yeah,
No, I don't.
he lights a tree on fire once
I
a
don't
night.
put up a tree, but there
No,
usually
don't.
ends up being one or two around. Yeah. Do you get into it? Do you decorate it at all?
I mean, I have, but I'm all set.
You're
big.
baking the cookies, right?
Yeah,
You
I
do it.
just, it's too much work.
I get the real tree. Go ahead.
Do you have a real one? Yeah.
Go get the real
We had a
one.
fake one growing up, and then we have a real one. So I don't know.
have a
Is,
real one? You don't put them up. Be a man. Don't have a Christmas tree. Be a man. Don't celebrate holidays.
Christmas trees of abroad.
Be a man. Every day's the same. Go fuck yourself.
what's going to be different this year now? Like, because Christmas is very traditional. There's a million
You know what's
things that we
different?
do.
People.
What's
People
gonna
are
be
different, Klasky. Everyone's different. The people are different.
Yep.
So, like, they're letting society get the best of them, in my opinion. You gotta live. Live your life.
Santa Claus is
Live
probably
your life.
not
If you
gonna
get
be at the
sick, you
mall.
get sick. What are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
that's a good thing. So, like, you know how many kids we're gonna skip a couple generations of it being okay for an elderly drunk man to handle your kids.
First of all, Santa Claus, elderly and obese, should not be out during COVID. Like, should be at home.
yeah.
Fucking.
He's got a mask on, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, a
The
mask
beard.
with hair. He's
You
like,
know?
that'd be funny if, like, they were like, everything's cool. Prancer died of COVID. Sorry to announce, one of the reindeer.
Or just like 7 and 8 year old kids that you finally convince wear the mask. It's dangerous if you don't. Are now terrified of a man sneaking into their house and coughing on all their stuff. Christmas is ruined.
Christmas is a great way to control a kid, though. You're like, don't fucking do
Yeah,
that,
true.
right? Or like, Santa won't da-da-da.
Yeah.
So you could always be like,
Kids are wiser, younger now, though, because of the computer.
They know that they just Google it, right?
They're smarter now.
Yeah.
The
As soon as you
computer.
tell a kid there's magic reindeer, they fly all around. He's like, I'm gonna check that shit out online. I trust you, Dad, but I'm gonna check that shit out online.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll finish things up.
Locally owned and operated, Lynn Ladder has been dedicated to providing high-quality products and services to the New England area since 1946. With 6 locations, from their manufacturing plant in New Hampshire to their rental yard in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Lynn Ladder is the one-stop shop for all your new equipment and rental needs. Lynn Ladder has catered to contractors and homeowners for the past 72 years. Have a project, big or small? Then call the Ladder King today at 1-800-225-2510.
Hi, I'm Mr. Monday. If I want to get shot out of a cannon on a Monday, I have to be fresh and ready to go. Hey, let's face it, us men, we're all a bunch of hairy animals, but we could use a little trim. How come every time I try, I cut my sack and I bleed? If you're gonna put clippers and blades near your family jewels, it's time to use right tools. The new Lawnmower 2.0 from Manscaped has skin-safe technologies, so this trimmer won't nick and snag your nuts. Having an accident below the belt is a thing of the past. Get 20% off and free shipping with code GARDEN at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code GARDEN. There's a lot of nuts out there. Now it's time to handle them with care. Welcome back, Clay.
one of my
What's
favorite things,
next
too.
here, Klaus? What do we got going on?
This one caught our eye. It's a story that was making rounds in the music little circles or whatever. You guys know Rod Stewart, obviously.
oh, personally, yeah, he's a
on.
great guy.
Awesome
Swallows buckets of cum.
We're going to talk about
Well,
that.
see, that's
No, he's
partially-
right about that. Dog cum.
Oh my God.
He also was a big cocaine guy, but because he didn't want to fuck up his voice,
Looks like it.
he wouldn't snort it. So what he would do is he would get cold tablets, empty out the contents, fill them with cocaine,
Swallow.
and then take them anally.
Really? Is that true?
late.
Why is it always Rod Stewart?
Up
What's
the
with this?
ass?
They developed effortlessly into the system.
That's the
that's what they
perfect-
said, but I can think of one part of that might involve some effort.
Why wouldn't you just swallow it? Why would you
Also,
stick it up
that's
your
not
butt?
like-
It
how do
gets
you
there quicker?
feel?
You can't get it up your butt like that. I mean, you have to go with the butt, because if you put it in your stomach, you're just going to digest it. You won't take it.
If you think I'm sexy, stick some cocaine up my butt.
So wait, he was swallowing dog cum?
That was the rumor back in the day.
Yeah, he had a. Well, maybe it was another thing, like his voice. He didn't want to do coke.
I
He
think I
didn't,
know
want
what
to be,
happened.
he didn't want to be gay, so he blew a dog instead of a guy.
It was always a lot of stories of like celebrities, celebrities just going to the hospital with so much cum. You know, like, take me to the ER. I'm full of cum. I know exactly what's wrong with me.
This sounds like he got caught doing something, and then he made up an excuse, and now everybody has a different thing that they think he did.
Yeah, like he
Swallowed
probably
cum,
did
he-
do something weird. Like
Yeah.
he probably did put something up his ass sometimes to get
Like,
fucked
I
Did this
can't
up.
come out in his,
imagine.
did
That's
this
a
come
lot
out in
of-
his book?
How do you effortlessly empty like cold tablets and then fill them with cocaine? That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, that's like more work than a rock
It's
star.
just like
really.
putting a
Yeah.
hemorrhoid suppository up your ass, probably.
You know what I would do? You know those Fun Dips?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would lick the stick once. I would rub it in the cocaine, and then you could use that like 3 or 4 times.
But you put it in your mouth?
That's too
No,
much
no,
fun.
no,
That's
no.
too much. That's a super fun dip.
Yeah.
I went to get a COVID test at a strip club, and they put a little cocaine on the Q-tip before they put it in.
Was that a New Hampshire strip club?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because the strip clubs
Free
aren't
COVID test
open.
with a lap dance.
I think New Hampshire's the only state that has strip clubs open right now.
Live free or fuck it.
I'm willing to go out on the road and test that theory for you. I'll go travel.
Are you a strip club person?
You know what's weird? Comedians tend to be, because when they like comedy. Strippers will often go see stand-up comedy.
They need to laugh.
And then befriend. I've made friends with strippers more often than I've like done what I wanted. You know.
Do you get their phone number and stuff?
Yeah, but it's usually, honest to God, it's like you go back to, you go to Hartford a lot, right? So then you make friends with a stripper there. They all date like guys.
Insurance guys?
They're not,
Cocaine
yeah.
dealers.
Yeah, like they all date like these dudes, like, but
Strippers, are they
kinda
kind
miss-
of like hookers?
some of them are, some of them aren't. I'll tell you one thing I said. They all love blow. Like, I'll say that. That's a stripper thing. That's true. Like,
Universal.
that's universal. Like, I don't do that. I'm a coffee guy. That's as much as I really need. But like all night long, like, and I saw this thing. So this girl used to take us. She wouldn't be working ever, but she'd take us there because she worked there. So it was like you're with her, like you're with an employee. Everyone.
It's like if you went to a comedy club on your day off.
Yeah, exactly. You get the hookup, you know.
Yeah, get
And
another
she would bring a lot of coke and kind of like give it to girls who were working there. Like she was like, "This is better than money. Like this will get us more love from the strippers than money."
Ah.
So I saw this maneuver done multiple times that night that I'd never seen before, but now that I know to look for it, I see it all the time in strip clubs. It's you know when you see two strippers doing like lesbian stuff and you think like, oh man, like I bet they really are into each other, like they're getting turned on
fucking
right
hate
now.
each other's guts.
She used to hide the coke like in her boobs, and the other girl would come over and act like she was like licking her boobs, and then she'd be like do a line out of the boobs. And sometimes she'd pull out a dollar bill and she'd put coke on it. And she'd like put the dollar bill on her leg or on her crotch, and the other girl would come over and act like she was doing something sexy and just like snort the rail off the chick, and then be off.
Tonzo's into that shit.
I'm fucking fired up.
I grew up in the 80s, man. There was so much coke around in the 80s, it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like
It
so,
was
like
expensive. Like now I hear the prices, it's like half the price.
like when you go to a party, they'll have an ice luge, like a cooler of beer. What was it like? Was there like just like was it open, or you have to like someone would hold their
Dude,
own?
there was a mirror, and there was dollar bills rolled up, and there was like mountains of coke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like the movies.
In comedy, like every few
Like, for
years,
real.
it comes back for like a
The Be a
flash
Man
and
guy
then
can
goes
tell you. He
away.
went to college in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah.
partaking.
No,
but-
no, Carlo. When we said he threw an 8-ball, we meant he really threw an 8-ball at a guy.
Well, that's a different. No, he really did do that too.
Yeah,
by the
I
way,
know,
he
that's-
threw an 8-ball off someone's
that's
forehead.
It is wild. I mean,
Split some guy's head open from
Yeah.
Ireland.
a lot of those guys like Lenny and Kenny
Oh,
and those,
yeah.
theyll tell you all about this. They did some. I mean, the stories they tell, the psychosis. Like
I know,
they'd be
I
up
know.
for days and like.
yeah, the lack of sleep alone makes you like a crazy person.
Oh,
like
please.
a day and a half of not sleeping, and you're like,
You ever do anything like I did? I mean, when I was in LA, I did
Peyote?
like really, really good coke. Like, and it like was like I was like fucked up for like a day and a half. Like, I mean, that was the last time I did it. I was like, all right, I went to Mecca and returned alive. Like, I'm not gonna fucking fuck with
Not
this shit
that baby
anymore.
laxative shit from around here,
Yeah,
right?
dude, I was like.
Yeah, they cut that stuff up with weird shit.
I went to a grocery store. This is a true story. I went to a grocery store and grabbed a shopping cart and I just pushed it up and down the aisles for like 2 hours because I was like, at least if I collapse and die,
they'll find
I'll be in this grocery store. Like someone will call 911 and help me. Because I was like, if I just go to my apartment, I'm just gonna fucking die there. And,
You want to be in public so you can.
yeah, like so when I collapse, someone will help me.
What do you think your heart rate was?
Oh my dude! I just remember.
220?
I remember. I've told the story before. I went. My hands were shaking. My heart was pumping. I went and I was like, man. I went in the bathroom to take a piss. I'm Irish. I'd never seen my dick so small. It was like the
shrivels up.
size of like a fucking. It was like rescinded into my body.
Like a turtle.
It makes girls want to fuck, and it makes guys unfuckable. Is that?
For me, it did. It was just like a clear sign that I'm a pothead and not a fucking. cokehead.
Stay away from the
Much
coke.
cheaper.
Do me a favor, stay away from the
Don't
coke.
worry about it.
All right.
I was born with a deviated septum, so apparently my dad did enough.
Did your
for
nose
both of us.
did your nose bleed when you snorted lines?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time, I had another one. I did all this before I was like 21. When I was 21, 22, I stopped doing it forever. Another time, I was doing coke, and a girl called. It was like the second I finished doing a line, a girl called me and goes, "I think I'm pregnant." Like, and I'm
Pregnant
like,
from
still,
you?
Yeah, and I'm still like,
Whoa.
top my nose, and, this girl, and my cell phone rings, and the girl's like, "Hi, Will," and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I think I'm pregnant," and I was like, and you know how coke is. I go, she was in Boston, I was in New York City. I go, "I'm going to Penn Station right now. I'll be right there." I fucking like grab my wallet, run out the door, go to Penn Station, get on a train, get a fucking Heineken, and like sit there
You got there and she got a period.
for like 4 hours. You're right. That's the story. That's the story. See, Mr. Monday has lived and he knows things. That's exactly what happened.
Can you just roll into a pharmacy and get a Plan B?
This was I think this was before that.
You can just roll right in and just go.
They sell them. I know girls take them, but I don't know how they get
Should
them.
we send people into pharmacies with a camera and just keep going up to the counter and
Coke-
say, Plan B, please?
Do they? I mean, I don't know how does
Well,
that
the coke I was on wore off at like somewhere in Connecticut. So it was like somewhere in Connecticut. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why am I? She's not gonna have the baby like tomorrow.
Can a girl get
Like, what am I
pregnant?
doing?
Can a girl get pregnant while she's on a period?
I have no idea.
I bet it's happened. I bet you it's happened.
You think so?
I don't
Bet
take
you-
chances.
you know.
Did you have sex with that girl, the one who said she was pregnant?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like when she had a period?
I think so. But that time, I think it was like we just had sex me and this girl had sex all the time.
How did it end? Like what happened?
It ended with like.
You guys were a good couple.
I know we were. I remember, dude. I swear to God,
I mean,
though,
seriously, you guys were like lovers.
this is like one of those things where I'm in the train, right, and I'm like, God, I'm in the train, I'm on coke, I'm like in the bathroom of this fucking Amtrak train that I just like paid so much to get on because it's like, you know, no notice or anything. I'm on it and I'm sitting there and I'm going, God, like if you make this like go away, if you like make her not pregnant,
That's
like,
number one.
I'll never do coke again. You know what I'm saying? It was like one of those.
Did you do it again?
No, you know what? I did one more time, but it was years later. I was blackout drunk, right? And I knew I was in New York again, and I was like, I got a long walk back to my place, and I'm like fucked up. I'm like a liability right now, and people were doing blow, and I was like, just give me like a key bump. This is like medicinal coke. I'm not even gonna enjoy this. This is just to like get me home. And that was the last time I did anything like that. I did it, I got home, and I like went to sleep. Like it wasn't like I was all jacked up.
How did things end with you and the pregnant girlfriend?
Do you want it? Honest to God, it's a funny fucking story. We dated for probably another...
You told me about her before.
We dated another like 6 months to a year after that, and then we were fighting all the time, and then we had anal, right?
Why? Because you didn't want to get her pregnant.
We had anal just for the fuck of it. We were shit-faced. We were
Yeah.
like, and then we broke
Was
up
it
the
a-
next day,
was it a
and that
first
was
time?
that.
Wow.
That was really it. Like we were those couple that broke up a lot, you know. And then one time we had anal, and then we broke up, and then that was really it. That was like, it was like the anal was like, you know what?
Was it the smell?
No, it was just like I think that was just
Her new boyfriend keeps going, why can't we just
that
try
was the
it?
goodbye. It was like, you know what? We were high school sweethearts. We're not gonna get married. Fuck me in the ass and get the hell out of here.
Have you spoke to her lately?
No, I have no idea where she is. You know, the last time I saw her, honest to God, she was a model, and the last time I saw her, I was in a mall, and I walked by a store that sold maternity clothes.
So
and
she was pregnant.
And then I did find out she wasn't actually pregnant. But she was, so the girl I thought I got pregnant, I saw pregnant in a store at the South Shore Plaza in the window with a full belly.
That's
but she
scary.
wasn't really pregnant then either. So twice this fucking bitch got me. But that's true. That's all true.
She's one of the bad ones.
She was also friends with Ivanka Trump. There's a lot to go on this girl. I could do a whole episode about her.
You're going to
Shit.
deep dive.
I'm gonna do a deep dive.
Do you have her phone number still?
No, man.
right, well,
She,
I
does
would
not, she
prank her
probably
right
does
now.
not want. One time I was on stage and I thought I saw her in the audience, and it's like the only time I've ever been like, what the fuck? Like, it wouldn't like, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I still have feelings, but it would just be like, holy shit, like I hadn't seen her in a million years. I'd bet money she married like a rich dude. She was good looking.
Really?
Yeah.
You get some jail
That was
mail
a
in
nice
here?
walk down memory lane. I feel like this is like inside the actor's studio now.
That
Like,
was-
what's
we
my
should-
favorite swear
We should
word?
probably cut all that out of the show. We don't want this guy getting in trouble.
No,
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
just kidding.
No, that was all good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Just about talking about ass fucking. You got a couple Wakanda sticks right on the table right there, don't you?
What did you call it? A Wakanda stick?
It's a wait, is it a Cuban or well, I'm not sure where they're from.
What is a Wakanda stick?
It's a regional thing.
What region of Africa are we talking about?
The Noonan Show every Thursday at noon on YouTube. Is
Do you smoke cigars? Or do you just like put weed in them?
once in a while.
That was sent to the show.
Yeah, we got a fan sent in some
They do
cigars
have
for
a
Mr.
ni-
Monday.
I mean, these are really nice. Part of gas.
Yep.
Havana, Cuba. We were just talking about Cuba. In their great cars.
The great paint jobs.
Well, let's keep talking about Cubans because our next segment is jail mail. We haven't checked with our favorite part of our fan base in a little while. You know, our people locked up. Let's see what they have to say.
Okay.
This first guy's name is Chad. He's been doing a bid for 5 years on weed possession charges.
Oh,
that
poor
doesn't
guy.
seem fair. And he's hoping to get out soon, especially since the state that he's in has now made it legal.
God, that's got to kill you, huh?
Yeah, he wants to know if our positivity message is something that he can rely on when he gets out.
Check
You
out the
gonna keep
earrings.
doing this?
What do you think about those earrings, man? Padlocks. Be a man.
This guy's psycho.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I bet his nickname is something stupid like Locks.
Goldilocks!
You might want to lock me up in this cage, but I got the keys to these, motherfucker.
How are prisoners allowed to have
We should
those?
try to get him on the show and try to help this guy out. I feel sorry for
The
him.
funny thing
He's
is,
confused.
It's gonna be funny when he's set free and they're like, "Here's the $1.25 you had, and chunk. Here's your earrings, the 2 fucking padlocks."
Does he have a lazy eye? Is his left eye lazy? Oh, well, it's his right eye.
His
out
whole
left.
his whole self is lazy.
You know what it is?
Look at it. It's like a lazy eye, the right one.
Those locks are pulling them both in the opposite directions. His face is stretching out.
It looks like a kid I grew
If
up
I was
with.
gonna do that, I'd put the high school lock, the combination. I think if you're gonna do that, you're gonna-
I like to stuff this kid in a locker, actually.
That's not a good look for prison because people can fuck with you like that, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going
yeah,
on with this
especially
guy.
if you had keys.
You know,
You wake up, it's always unlocked. You're like, who's fucking with me?
Yeah, strange dude.
you want to check out another person?
Yes.
This next one's Melissa. She said that she went in last year for robbery, and when she did, she was fully straight. But for the last 20 months, being in an all-girl prison, she started swinging the other direction. She wants to know if you think she's gay or just a little confused.
Gay for the stay.
Gay for the steak!
I just think she's like, lonely.
Jailbird.
And she just needs some sex.
Orange is the new black. Pussy's the
She's-
new snack.
She's scissoring some tacos in the can just to get through. Like, I don't think she's really gay.
33 years old. You're laying next to somebody, like, you both cry. You tell, like, I killed somebody, you killed somebody. God isn't going to take us anyway. Let's make our nipples
Come give me a hug.
Yeah.
killed
Hold me,
somebody.
I'm sad.
Let's slap tortillas!
Yeah, the scissoring.
I've said on my podcast that if I were doing life in prison, I would accept blowjobs from gay guys. I'm a prison blowjob acceptor.
Cigarettes.
that.
blow-
You just
yeah.
shut your eyes and pretend.
Yeah, I'm talking life in prison. I'm never
Yeah.
gonna get a blowjob from a woman again.
A mouth to mouth!
Mouth to mouth, close your eyes, like, get drunk on some fucking toilet wine.
Fucking
Yeah.
beard.
Oh, it'd be like you'd have to focus and you'd have to like, I don't know. I'm
You-
hoping you get one of those like, kind of
It's
feminine.
not like
lit-
it's not like a random Wednesday night. It's like the Christmas party. Everybody's been drinking, like you said, the toilet wine.
Yeah. Like, and I want to
Rod
be clear.
Stewart gave
It's
you a
not
couple of
like
capsules to put up your ass.
I'm not doing 3 months for. It's not like it's like I'm in jail for like a minute. I get a DUI. I'm like, who's gonna blow me? They're like taking me to the cell.
How long could you go with, like, if
Oh,
you-
I could go a super long time.
like 6 months?
Oh, I could go longer than that. There was a time when I was drinking. I think I went a year without really doing almost.
'Cause you had a
anything.
flopper, 'cause you
Oh,
were
I was
drinking
just
so
a
much.
mess too. I was
Yeah.
I was like, I preferred like booze, like lady booze. You know what I mean?
You had a problem there for a while.
Oh, for sure.
You straightened out.
Back in 10, 11 years ago, yeah. But I was like, I remember like being like, I actually remember overhearing 2 chicks I worked with talk about like maybe fucking me, but now I'm too much of a sloppy drunk. Like I was like, they didn't know I was like on the other side of this
fat?
thing. I was, yeah, I was kind of bloated.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of fat.
'Cause right now, you kind of trim.
Yeah, hold on. I
You're a little
think
sloppy.
I got my,
Yeah.
I don't know where, is my wallet up there, the green one, Dave? It's like it's right there, right?
Either the green one or the black. You got 3 wallets here?
Right there. I got, thank you. I got,
Got a picture?
yeah, my license picture here. Let me see if I can cover up my, oh, well, this is fucking pointless because there's no camera guy. But you can kind of see. I'm like, you
face.
see how fat that face
What a
is?
watermelon face.
Yeah. That's not very good for TV, but.
Oh, yeah, you were
Yeah,
born.
look at that, right? And that was.
What were you drinking, gin?
I was drinking buttermilk most of it. I was a vodka guy, Smirnoff vodka.
So I think this Melissa, I think she might have sent in the cigars. I think it might
Is
have
that
been
why
her.
they smell like low tide?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of
Do you
funny.
think honestly though?
Nothing?
Does the like you're the security guard and you're walking down the aisle of where the prisoners are locked up and 3 or 4 of these girls are going at it. You can tell.
Are they girl guards or male guards?
It's probably a mix of both, but there's probably some female guards too.
Good friend of mine matched with a girl on Tinder, and she was like, "I'm in county right now." She's like, "If you bail me out, I'll fuck you tonight."
Whoa.
You bail her out?
You did.
How could she talk?
Do you get they have confiscated phones in there, and also if you're in for like a county, if you're in on a warrant, you can have your phone to contact people to get your.
How does
bail
night
money.
turn out?
I think they dated for a little while.
So,
I know, right?
is there any way we could have somebody write my telephone number down on inside there and then?
Dude,
like,
you could do that. You could just put your
Yeah.
like bail bondsman McKlasky, and then when they call, be like, yeah, I'm a bail bondsman, all right. You ever heard of Rod Stewart? We're gonna do what he likes to do tonight.
I'm gonna ball my dick to your ass.
We're gonna put cocaine in Sudafed, shove it up our ass.
If you like my body, check
at this guy.
my ass for cocaine.
Who's the next guy,
This
Klaus?
next guy is Arnie. He was a janitor for 25 years, and then he got arrested for stealing checks from the school and committing forgery. He was the best paid janitor in the world. We need janitors more than ever right now with COVID. Do you think they could like do something for this guy? Get him out?
You know what's funny about this guy?
Does anyone get away with stealing checks and forging them?
No. I knew a guy who went away for that. He's a drug addict. That's like a drug addict move, right? Because you know you're gonna get caught.
Stupid move.
I just like that this guy. He looks kind of like the Ocean Spray skateboarding Fleetwood Mac guy. If he had just thought of
Little bit.
that, if he had thought of like lip syncing, he wouldn't be in jail right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing a bit about that guy. It's like, oh, I keep thinking I see that guy everywhere, and then I realized, nope, there's just a lot of construction in Boston right now.
Brought to you by Ocean Spray.
Yeah, but he looks like kind of like that
Yeah,
dude.
steal some checks and forge them.
He looks like Krusty the Clown with no makeup on.
You know what though? Where's he getting these checks? They're just laying around and stuff.
No, obviously he's the
Broken.
janitor. He has the keys to like the principal or the treasurer or wherever.
Okay.
And you can,
So wait, somebody's coming in my office after I leave and looking through all my shit?
Yes.
That's a weak
Yes.
crime, man. Like
I better get
checks.
Imagine that crap.
My neighbor, growing up, was a drug guy. He broke into everyone's house, like in a whole neighborhood. It was like almost every one of us had a story about him.
What do you get from you?
Our story is funny. Like I said, I drank a lot. So my mom, I come down the stairs and my mom's like, Billy, you gotta fucking get the drinking under control. You fucking ripped the computer out of the fucking wall last night. The fucking kitchen's fucking wrecked. I'm like, I didn't drink last night. She's like, I think we got fucking robbed. It's like- so it was like he like tried to do a smash and grab at our house. But one of the things he did was he took a checkbook from somebody and kind of sat on it for a little while, and then he was writing himself checks. But it's like he got caught so quick because it's like it comes right back. And
You gotta write the checks right away if you're gonna steal them.
when he was writing them to himself, he wasn't even writing to cash. He was writing to his name and
his own-
depositing them into his bank account.
And you can't. How long did he sit on these checks for? I mean, if you
A
steal
month.
checks, you gotta like write them right away.
Yeah,
and
because
then,
most people would just.
there's check cashing places where you can play games. This guy's dumb.
I used to cash my checks at those like crazy back in the day, back when I first started doing comedy.
the check
Do they
cashing.
charge
Yeah.
you to? Do they charge you to cash the check?
So much.
2%.
There was
No, it's not much.
2%.
It depends on how much money it is, though. It's like the more money, the more they take.
Right,
There's a
right,
story about an NFL rookie who like grew up in a bad neighborhood and like he took his first NFL check to the check cashing place and they
my
took
God.
like $28,000 or something out of it.
Oh my god.
Because it's like it goes by the. And if you had just gone to a fucking bank, like
He's probably a felon.
yeah, oh, I mean, he just like that's what you do, right? You
He
take a
bought
check
like
to the check
he
cashing
buy
place.
individual like Western Union like $100 limit
Yeah.
things for.
Yeah, there's money orders. Just give it to me in iTunes gift cards.
Wow. Yeah, there's no chaperones in life. There's no you're like, hey, you got $1 million? Let me help you.
Manny Ramirez famously that time the Red Sox at the end of the year realized they had $4 million extra in their budget. And it was because Manny had a bunch of checks he hadn't cashed in his glove compartment of his car.
One of the best hitters I've ever seen.
Yeah, but imagine having so
something.
much money that like you don't
Yeah.
even miss $4 million.
Well, you put one of
Gronk-
those in your glove compartment. I don't put anything in my glove compartment.
Yeah.
Larry Bird never cashed a check. He always never took a nickel.
Really?
And
What?
Gronk's another one.
For real?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
They just deposited. They never took a nickel of the money. Just deposited their checks.
And then it's
They got money from like endorsement.
oh, so they. But I'm saying they saved the money. It's
Oh
not-
yeah. But
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah.
they never even touched the.
I
you
got
know.
that. I understand. I thought you meant like they're
Bird-
like you
Bird
keep it
had a lot of
NFL.
endorsement deals. I don't like.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously Jordan, but
Bird had a ton.
oh really?
Yeah, Bird had a ton.
Direct deposit.
Remember the Bird? Was it the Bird and Jordan commercial?
Jordan
where they're playing
versus
horse. Remember they playing
Yeah.
horse in
Oh,
that
yeah.
commercial?
Nothing but
That's
net.
right.
No,
That was a good one.
Jordan versus Bird video game too.
Yep. Oh yeah, they made a ton of dough.
Genesis.
Bird's was a cheap bastard. They said.
Was he?
That's what they say.
He's
Weird guy.
poor farm trash, right?
Great complexion.
You know, like all his father and grandfather both committed suicide, and Bird said he had serious thoughts of committing suicide too.
Because none of them could grow a mustache correctly.
At least he could hit a jump shot.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The other
like-
guys couldn't.
I was like, you know how if you think you want to commit suicide, you should see my fucking 3-point jumper, Larry.
Yeah, I'm Larry Bird.
And you'll
Like,
throw
just ain't
yourself.
doing it for me.
He always talks about. He's a weird guy. I read a book on him. He talks about being a garbage man. It was like one of his best times in his life.
French Lick, Indiana.
Yeah, French Lick. He got a full ride to like Indiana State University, and then after like 2 weeks.
No, Indiana.
Indiana.
And then he went to Indiana State.
And then after 2 weeks, he got homesick and got in his car and just drove to
you
fucking
know his coach was in
French
Indiana.
Lick. Nah, Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight.
And then he goes back to French Lick, gets a job as a garbage man, is ready to just
Was
say
happy.
like, fuck it all, like I'm done with this shit. And then the Indiana State
He was
guy,
playing in like a summer league, and Indiana State came there to watch him. And like,
they were like, holy shit, dude, come on.
the rest is history.
And then they had to like really baby him too. Like they had to like be like,
Oh, yeah.
you can come home every weekend and like you can stay at the coach's house and like all that
Wow.
shit. Yeah.
That's weird. Like the thing holding you back is like I like the blanket in my bedroom. Like
Yeah. Nowadays they would probably like diagnose him with like a million things. You
Yeah.
know? They'd be like,
ooh, that would be a fun thing is if we diagnosed major athletes, all of them.
Yes.
it would be fun to go back through history and diagnose just famous people. Like,
Well, let's talk about that we could shoot that as a sketch. We could have
Why
a
not?
psychiatrist,
Why
bring
not?
in the actual
Janis
athletes.
Joplin.
Might work.
Just
We should have a
bipolar.
shrink up on the show.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think we should.
we have
Why?
doctors.
Why not, Tonzo?
They like wouldn't even
They're
walk
not going to
in here.
evaluate you.
Imagine, you know what we should do? You know what you should honestly do? It would be really funny. Would be like have a shrink, like unknowingly, like they don't know what they're doing. Just have them watch like the highlight reel, like be a man, best be a man's, like best parts of I Love Mondays, and then just see like, what do you think? You know what I mean? That would be fun.
Yeah, we should get some outside input.
They'd be like, these men are sad, you know, like, all of us. They'd be like, you guys just make fun of others because you don't feel great about yourselves.
How come they say that about like comedians and stuff?
I don't buy all that.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I don't buy that. Me and Corey Rodriguez are both like anti. You
Yeah.
have to be fucking sad to be.
Is
a
there something
comedian.
wrong with you because you're a comedian? I mean,
No.
we know there's something wrong with McKlasky.
I mean, I think it's more obvious when a comedian is sad. It's like it's more noticeable. Everyone's a little sad sometimes. Like plumbers are fucking a little sad sometimes. Everyone's a little sad sometimes. But when a comedian is, it's like really like, oh, I thought you were fucking.
Don't be
fun.
sad. Be a man.
I thought you were fun. Yeah, you know. Everyone, yeah, be a man. Everyone gets a little. sad
Firefighters
sometimes.
aren't brave all the time.
True.
Right?
It's true. Do we have one more?
We do.
One more jail person?
And she is a looker, Mr. Monday. This one is Jane. She says that when she went to jail 20 years ago, she was a beautiful woman, full of life. But after licking Melissa's pussy for 33 years, she's gone to look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
Would you kiss this precious?
I didn't say that face is that's a face brought
That's like
to you
a
by.
fluorescent light tan.
Yeah.
You know? You know what I mean? Look at that complexion.
It looks like a Steve Buscemi mask melted on her face.
Poor thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm just thinking it's like she looks like an elf from Lord of the Rings got addicted to Newport Lights.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can give you any advice to get on track.
That's what the new villain in the Avatar movie is going to look like.
You know what's fucked up? How come you were allowed to just mock everyone's mugshot? Like, how come mugshots are just like that's public consumption, right? Like, if I got arrested tomorrow, like, everyone could just be like, oh, look at old fucking dildo face, you know?
I mean, she should, when you get out, get a facial, get some work done. Go to a tanning bed, do something. Go to the beach, and even in the winter.
She looks like
Yeah, actually,
Sarah
go to the beach
Connor
and drown
if the
yourself.
Terminator 1.
I'll give her a facial.
Oh, Tonzo!
I heard you're pretty backed up.
Her
Gonzo.
eyebrows look more upset than she does. Wouldn't you agree? Like, what's up with those eyebrows? They come way too far down.
Yeah, she had another woman do.
I'm trying to think. There's something
Do it
she
for-
reminds me of.
Like, she looks like an extra from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
It looks like she got a skin graft after something happened
She looks
to her
like
face.
her eyebrows are where she breathes through.
You know when they take two pictures, they take two people, right, and they morph one into the other through a
Yes.
photo. She looks like you paused it like halfway in the morph. Like,
Yeah, she looks like if you paused Raiders of the Lost Ark right where they opened up the Ark.
Remember, she's watching this.
yeah, like if Michael Jackson was like caught moving on camera, like a blurry Michael Jackson.
Didn't you
face.
perform at a drive-in on her forehead earlier this year?
I did actually, yeah.
Well, Jane, look, we wish you the best. When you get out, good luck.
Yeah, no, she's probably in jail right now. Like, wow, I guess I'll just fucking kill myself, guys. Like, that was.
She's gonna find out where the studio is.
She's like, she did chores all week so she could watch.
I'm gonna fix her up with Tonzo. I think they'd be a good.
I
couple.
think Tonzo's in
They'll
love.
be a power couple.
Dude, she ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Write her some letters.
Yeah, you guys will look good together, Tonzo.
I'm ready for a conjugal.
Would you comb?
Conjugal tonsicle.
Would you comb her hair, Tonzo?
Absolutely not. Let your jewelry shine, baby.
What do you got for shows coming up?
Oh man, I
You
got my
anything
little.
cooking?
No, yeah, I got New Hampshire. I'm in Nashua this Saturday, and then Pelham next Saturday. So I'm doing my run again of the chunky cinemas, which are dope, and they have like this system of air pumping in one end of the room, pumping out the other end of the room, space, all that shit.
Love chunkies.
Yeah,
Nice,
chunkies
nice.
are cool actually,
Yeah.
and food's good. And I don't drink, but when I look out, everyone's got these huge fucking like Viking mugs.
You don't
of
drink
beer.
anything?
No, I actually think though this is probably not good advice for people with drinking problems, but I'm 11 years sober. I think if they came out with a vaccine for COVID, like a good one, I think I'll drink a glass of champagne
To celebrate.
to celebrate.
You're a real humanitarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you for finally noticing, sir.
Thanks for coming up tonight.
That was a blast. Thank you.
Want to give a quick shout out to our buddies up in Maine, Tony and Gig. Better Than It Used to Be is the name of the show, and they follow us on Twitter.
Oh, that's nice.
They spread us around, right, Harmon?
Yeah.
A couple good guys.
Spread us around.
Maine, man. they're
We want to
real-
thank your friend for the P.O. box. The guys at the studio loved all the presents.
Yeah, we think it was Melissa the Jailbird.
It could have been.
Thank you.
Melissa, sorry.
So listen, we'll see you next Monday. Let's have a great week. All right, everyone? Monday on 3.